Hopefully, what we are starting today, which as David was saying, is not an event only, but actually a true process, Mayor, and thank you for committing to this important process, will lead us to actually changing the way things are done. I think that we are at a point where we have managed to have recognition from the international institutions and from the international development partners about the important role that localizing action for global goals entails and the importance that this has. So that recognition we have managed to get. And this sounds easy and it sounds very common sense, but believe me, it hasn't been easy. It has been a long process. So we have managed to have this acknowledgement. We have also, through processes like the Paris Agreement and the development of the Sustainable Development Goals, but also the Sendai, the risk agenda, and the Addis Abeba agenda, we have managed also to enhance the notion on how important it will be to address the phenomenon of the urban era in a different manner in the development agenda. This is something that also the President referred to, and it is fundamental to actually change the way that we look at urbanization and the role that it has to play in the development agenda if we actually want to commit to changing the economic models and the capital models and the funding models. We are not there yet, again. It is part of a process. So we have two very positive things. And the third positive thing that I think we should all take into account before we start this discussion is that we have this universal agenda which for the first time is allowing us to look at the way we look at the future as humanity in a different manner. And hopefully that will also allow us to try to define different equations, actually, to make our systems work. I'm convinced this is a great opportunity. And the final thought that I would like to give, to leave you with is that we are starting to get organized in ways that we were not before. We have managed to create organizations such as United Cities and Local Governments, gathering local and regional governments all over the world, the big and the small. But we have also managed to create partnership among all networks, sister networks such as C40, ICLEI, but also instruments like the Global Covenant for Climate, like our own fund, FMDB. We have managed to create partnerships and to work together in ways that we hadn't managed before. I mean, we just hosted the Management Board of Cities Alliance in Barcelona last week, and we have noticed that we are now able to do things differently because we are taking risk together and not only exchanging experience, but actually strategizing together. And I think that is also part of what is happening today. And it will need to be part of our roadmap as we go ahead. So we've got all these positive things, but this roundtable is not so much only about the positive and the good things that are happening, but also identifying the challenges that you face every day. And I would like to remind ourselves that obviously, although competencies, the level of decentralization and multi-level governance are critical issues to address, also when you try to address transforming municipal finance, this roundtable needs to focus a little bit more on access to capital markets. So I'm asking you to consider that. I'm not saying you need to ignore your national realities completely in terms of your relations with the other spheres of government, but I'm asking you to share more of your challenges when accessing capital, because actually that is going to be a very critical part of the conversation that we need to develop with international institutions. And that is the part of the narrative, but also of the practice that we want to change together. And we are very happy that we have ministers with us, national governments, but also development banks, because that's where our shortcomings are. This is where we see the gaps. We see a gap in that dialogue and in acting together. So following David's advice, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourselves first, and then ask you for some opening remarks, and then we will start talking like we would do. It's a very nice setup through conversation. So we've got 1 hour to do that. Mayor, you have been introduced, but maybe a few words about yourself. Just very briefly introduce yourself, please. ¿Se presenta?
Bonjour de nouveau, good morning. Comme présentation, je peux dire que je suis maire de Málaga depuis l'année 2000. Je suis d'études ingénieur agronome et sociologue. Je crois profondément dans la capacité de ville pour donner réponse aux problèmes qui sont à son échelle, dans le principe de solidarité, on parlera après. Dans 7 ans comme maire, j'étais aussi dans la fédération municipale espagnole, représenté la fédération au Conseil d'Europe, dans le congrès des pouvoirs local régional. Et je fais partie aussi de l'ARLE, l'Alliance de villes et régions euro-méditerranéennes. Nous faisons des efforts dans la coopération, développement. Je crois profondément dans ce sens. Pas plus. Málaga, c'est une ville de 600 000 habitants, aussi d'ici, de l'Europe. Et comme présentation, je crois que ça suffit comme ça.
Merci, merci, monsieur le maire. Le maire avec beaucoup de vision internationale, une vision de solidarité. Nous sommes ravis et merci pour l'accueil. Merci, le maire. Our friend from Tanzania.
Kiomoni, Kiburwa, Kibamba, Kisagara. Professionally, I'm an advocate and a lawyer. I've been working with the local government in different cities in Tanzania for 13 years now. I started as a solicitor, municipal solicitor in Kigoma. Now I'm senior lawyer within the local government, but also city director. I've been in this position of director for 4 years now. I was a city director for Shinyanga District Council, and now I was actually appointed to be city director from 2016 to date. I'm also have experience, practical experience on these municipal issues in response to finance and management. Thank you.
Thank you. Oscar. Microphone, Oscar.
Good morning, everybody. I come from La Paz, the highest capital of the world. Where is the executive and the legislative branch in Bolivia. The formal capital is Sucre, but the government manages the country from La Paz. We are here as a part of the, as you know, La Paz is the co-president of Ibero-American Capital Cities Network, along with the city of Madrid. And the next November, we will be the president of Mercosudades networks in Latin America. So we are glad to stay here, to be part of this group, to share our experience from local levels, particularly in this issue of market issues that I'm going to share later with you. Thank you.
We are going to South Africa.
Thank you very much, and good morning. My name is Nkosindipile Xakaza. I am a member of the Mayoral Committee for Finance and Economic Development in Ekurhuleni. I am here representing our mayor. It's my first time at this level as a member of the panel, and of course I've been a councillor since 2011. My previous responsibility, I was the MMC responsible for water and energy. I'm looking forward to sharing some of our experiences and of course participating in finding solutions to some of the funding challenges that we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Je voudrais commencer par remercier Monsieur le maire de Malaga, CGLU et les Nations Unies de nous accueillir. Je m'appelle Emmanuel Grégoire et je suis maire adjoint à la ville de Paris en charge du budget, du financement et de la transformation des politiques publiques. Transformation, budget et les finances, tout le monde comprend, mais transformation des politiques publiques, c'est la supervision notamment des systèmes d'information et de l'organisation de l'administration, qui est un sujet dont on reparlera sans doute en lien avec les principaux points de notre journée. Pour résumer ma vie en quelques mots, j'ai travaillé une dizaine d'années dans le conseil en stratégie et en finance. J'ai ensuite été chef de cabinet d'un maire de Paris très impliqué en CGLU, qui était Bertrand Delanoë. Et ensuite, j'ai été chef de cabinet du Premier ministre et j'ai été élu pour la première fois en 2014. Je me suis d'abord occupé aux côtés de Anne Hidalgo des ressources humaines et de la modernisation de l'administration et depuis une année du budget désormais.
Donc, merci. Thank you, everybody. I mean, as you see, this is a diverse panel, not only because of the places geographically, but also I think we have many different sizes and different needs around the table. We've got from cities that have several million inhabitants to cities that have 400,000. So a lot of diversity. If I may, Mayor, may I start with you in this discussion that we had about why are we still facing these challenges with mechanisms to access capital market? What are the main obstacles that you have been facing when trying to finance your public services?
Ici en Espagne, par exemple. Bon, nous avons capacité de réponse de financement pour les objectifs que nous avons dans notre domaine. La réflexion que je peux faire du point de vue de l'Espagne, c'est qu'il faut avancer, il faut aller plus loin dans la décentralisation locale. Il faut donner plus de compétences et alors plus de ressources aussi au niveau local. Pourquoi ? Parce que le niveau local, ce qui est plus proche aux citoyens, ce qui est plus capable de donner réponse aux besoins sociaux, ça, même l'éducation, la santé, le logement, services sociaux, etc., est aussi capable de dynamiser l'économie, attirer les investissements, faire la création d'un cadre du territoire qui soit capable d'attirer l'initiative d'investissement et aussi de pousser l'innovation et la création, dynamisation économique, ça veut dire l'esprit d'entrepreneur. Pour moi, la clé du développement, toujours, c'est l'éducation. et même l'éducation, pour moi, doit être au niveau local. Ça ne se passe pas en Espagne. En Espagne, nous avons niveau central, niveau régional et niveau local. On a fait une décentralisation très puissante des niveaux central qui est passé au niveau régional, mais encore il n'est pas arrivé au niveau local. Alors, les principes de subsidiarité qui ça existe dans l'Europe, dans la carte européenne d'autonomie locale, qui est rédigée, approuvée dans le Conseil d'Europe. Le Conseil d'Europe, vous savez, c'est un organisme plus ample que l'Union européenne. C'est toute l'Europe qui est à l'intérieur, qui cherche une démocratie, une vraie démocratie dans toute l'Europe, et pense que si nous avons une autonomie locale, la démocratie sera plus forte, plus authentique, parce que le dialogue, la capacité de dialogue entre les citoyens et les pouvoirs, c'est plus facile. Les citoyens et le pouvoir régional, c'est plus loin le pouvoir régional. Les citoyens et le pouvoir national, c'est plus loin encore. Alors, ce qui est proche, c'est le niveau local. Il faut descendre jusqu'à niveau local toutes ces compétences qui, selon ces principes, peuvent être dans les mains du pouvoir local. Ce qui est capable, les municipalités, de donner réponse, doit être au niveau local et pas au niveau régional, au niveau central. Si est capable, ces questions qui sont capables, les autonomies, les régions, les landers, de donner réponse, c'est d'être au niveau régional et pas au niveau central. Ça veut dire rempli d'en bas. Ah non, ça c'est une question qui, je pense que c'est pour tout le monde, pas seulement pour l'Europe, doit être l'objectif. Non? Alors, ce qu'il faut faire, une certaine réorganisation, n'est pas facile dans un jour, pas dans une année, dans certaines années, pas beaucoup de temps, de changer ce qui sont pays très centralisés, changer aux pays plus décentralisés au niveau local. Alors, vous avez, dans ce cas, la capacité de donner ces réponses. Et c'est plus facile si vous avez un budget plus haut, aussi d'avoir capacité d'aller au marché des capitaux, soit marché public, soit marché privé. C'est ça comme tu vois. Et pour les objectifs de développement durable, c'est très important que les municipalités, nous avons toutes ces capacités de réponse, parce que nous pouvons faire beaucoup. Il y a l'objectif numéro 11, faire en sorte que les villes et les établissements humains soient ouverts à tout, sûrs, résilients et durables. Ce sont les villes qui doivent le faire. Mais il y a d'autres objectifs contre la pauvreté, pour l'éducation, pour la santé, pour l'eau qui soit propre, etc. Tout ça, c'est facile de donner réponse dans les villes, mais il faut avoir les moyens. Les moyens, on peut dire, normal, de chaque année, de chaque jour, toujours structurel. Et après, il faut faire, dans certains moments, une capacité d'aller au marché et d'ouvrir un financement. Si vous avez un bon projet économique, social dans la demande de crédit, ça veut dire si vous démontrez que votre investissement, c'est un investissement qui soit soutenu, durable, qui peut être donner des réponses, aussi des recettes, c'est plus facile. C'est normal ça, non? Il faut faire des investissements avec un sens social et un sens économique. Je ne sais pas s'il y a de réponses à vos questions. On peut parler plus de ça, mais il faut laisser le temps pour les autres. Pour moi, l'important, c'est une question structurelle. Pour toujours, pas seulement pour une année, pour ce moment, sinon pour toujours. Avoir une organisation au niveau mondial des pays chaque pays est différent, bien sûr, il a son tradition, son culture, mais toujours pensant que le pouvoir local, c'est le plus proche aux citoyens, alors c'est doit, dans ces domaines, dans les niveaux locaux, où doit trouver les citoyens la réponse à toutes ces choses que les municipalités, nous pouvons faire mieux que les pouvoirs régionaux, mieux que les pouvoirs centraux.
Donc, monsieur le maire, pour vous, c'est plutôt une question de relations avec les États, de relations de pouvoir, qu'une question de financement. Mais je pense qu'il y a aussi une question de financement, n'est-ce pas? D'accès au financement.
Oh, d'accord, mais ce n'est pas une question de relation. Je pense que la relation soit bonne. La relation de loyauté, de collaboration institutionnelle, ça doit être, bien sûr. Des compétences. Mais voilà, parce que la relation peut être parfaite dans un pays très centralisé qui a les 90% du budget total public dans l'État et 10% dans les pouvoirs locaux, par exemple. Mais ça c'est pas bon. Il faut changer ça. Il faut approcher c'est une question. Mais soit quel soit le niveau de décentralisation, après, il faut avoir ces possibilités d'aller au marché, bien sûr. Mais si vous avez un niveau de capacité, de compétences, pour vous, c'est beaucoup facile, plus facile. C'est mieux pour avoir ces capacités de financement, bien sûr. Non? Et je pense que les pouvoirs centraux qui sont intelligents et les systèmes financiers qui sont intelligents, ils verront bien que les municipalités, le pouvoir local, ont la capacité de compétences et de financement aussi pour les jour à jour. Et toujours aussi pour faire face à certains moments d'investissement plus forts, plus spéciaux.
Thank you, Mayor. Do you identify with some of these things in Mwanza, in Tanzania? Is the legal framework what concerns you, or are there other things that you are concerned about in this dialogue, City Director?
Both. We have both legal and regulatory limitation toward access of capital in financial markets, but also it is this legal and the regulatory framework that other factors or other challenges factors in themselves. In our country, the issue of local government to foster for development is constitutional issues and has been enshrined in our Article 145 and 146 of our constitutions. And the Parliament has enacted a law which actually empowers local authorities to collect finances. So there are 32 sources of finances. In this source of finance also, we have power to borrow and the power to charge rates, levies, and fees to the services that we provide. However, there is limitation in the power to borrow. We have been, local authorities have powers to borrow from commercial banks and local government board, which was established by Local Government Finances Act, and power to request for overdraft. However, we don't have power to access how to raise funds from financial and the capital markets, because even the Government Loan and the Securities Act only taking recognition of the central government that by itself can borrow and issue guarantees. But sometimes for the local government to get government guarantees for the fund that we request, there is a lot of hurdles have to go, a lot of approvals has to go. And this has actually caused the local government to fail to actually promote or create or execute its development activities, because by the law itself limits local government access to other sources of fund to foster a development project. So I think that the Capital Market and Security Act also need to be amended in Tanzania, so that to take recognition of municipal bonds as one of the sources of revenue for which municipals and the local authorities can use to advance, to raise funds for the purpose of financing project. Out of that,
can you share a little bit with us what would be the difference with this capacity for bonds or without these limitations for borrowing? What would you be able to do that you feel you cannot do now?
Yes. What can we do? For example, in Mwanza, I have 14 development projects, which, if they are executed and completed, can add on-source revenue and therefore capacitate the councils to execute and finance different social social services, which are our main function. So we are not actually access to it. So the source of local government actually lack of financials. That's make the local government fail to implement its development project. But they are there. Further, we depend much on government transfers. Almost 80%, the local authorities, we depend from resources and funds from central government, which are by themselves are not enough for both the recurrent and the capital expenditure. Another challenge we have is the way on how the local government authority can maximize its own sources of revenue. That's why we don't have financial autonomous enough to finance different development projects. And also, the challenge of developing alternative sources of finance, that's what I've expressed, that we have legal limitations. And according to our constitution, we have to do according to law. So the law limits that you should not go beyond this bar. So therefore, when we unlock these legal and the regulatory frameworks, will be actually giving an opportunity and an avenue to the local authorities in Tanzania to access more and more sources of funds, so that development projects could be taken on board. And all these projects also are revenue related projects. Yes. So there is a financial gap in local government, a huge financial gap which impair economic growth and the living standard of developing countries. And therefore, the theme of this discussion can be met if we turn now these challenges to be an opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You've talked about the possibility of emission of bonds, and I know that La Paz has done very important efforts recently to be able to do emission of bonds, and it has turned into a very useful tool for you. But I am also aware that you are making very big efforts to actually go through exercises that will allow you to show your credit worthiness and to transform the way that you are dialoguing with international institutions, international financial institutions. Can you share some of that with us, Oscar?
Thank you, Emilia. Yes, I guess in the concept note, there is a sentence: unlock finance for cities. No, unlock. We need to unlock something. We need to unlock politician issue, no, technical issue, international organization, no, issue too. No, we need to unlock something, no, from different situations. So. And I refer to unlock finance not related to the money, directly to the money. I guess finance implies also knowledge. How do the things? How we, from the city, do the things that is different how the country do the things. No? It's knowledge and it's self-learning too. No, with self-learning, we need to learn ourselves, develop our capacities, our knowledge. From this introduction, I guess it's important to share our experience. As you know, Bolivia and South America, we are 1 million kilometers square and around 12 million of population. Our main revenue incomes in our country is the gas, natural gas, and minerals. The 60%, 70% of our incomes come from this. So our resources from the national government and local governments came from the price of the oil, international price. If the petroleum, no, the oil go down, our incomes go down. So we are living this situation now. So we must be innovative to how to compensate the lack of resources from the oil incomes from the other issues. In this case, the market is an option. So Bolivia, La Paz was the first city of Bolivia that issued a municipal bonds in Bolivia, 2008. So I want to share with you some important ideas of this. First, how the mayor said, we have laws. In this case, we have national laws. We have a law of capital markets. This is important, no? Because how we run in the market games if we don't have laws, national laws, at least national laws. Also, we have institutionality. We have a financial system supervision authority, and we have the Bolivian Stock Exchange institution. So we have the framework to do this business. Also, we must be reliable. That means that every issue of securities must have a risk rating authorized by a risk rating agency. You know, because if we launch bonds, somebody can trust international trust. We don't need local trust, we need international trust. And the last is the administrative management. Bolivia has 25 years of decentralization process. We have already the decentralization process. The national government transfers responsibility and resources from national government to local government. So we have this framework. But there's concentration, delegation, resignation of competence and responsibilities. A part of this competence is the resources, how we can manage the resources. I guess also another important issue that the country must have debt controls. As you know, Bolivia was a hippie country. Heavily in debt, poor countries initiative that the World Bank and the Monetary International Fund managed in the 80s and the 90s. So we were very in-debt country. So we must have national control of our debts as a national country, as a local cities. So we have these controls. All these three issues are our environment. Finally, I want to share some ideas. We launched a bond 2008. Around $12 million was our issue of our bonds. Maybe not is a lot of money for you, but for us it's around 12 million. Was not the meaning not was the amount of the money, was the exercise. Do the first time to do the things, no? Self-learning. Let's learn from our initiative. So we launched this issue of bonds 2000. Why? Because it's the opportunity cost. What is the opportunity cost in this issue? I told to the international organization, World Bank, Inter-American Development Bank, Banco de Desarrollo de América Latina, the CAF, no, the main multilateral organization that borrows money to the countries, to the cities, because it takes 2 years to obtain a credit from these organizations. If we launch the issue, we obtain in 6 months the money. That is the cost opportunity. The stock market is more diligent than the international organizations. There are too many bureaucratics, the organizations. So that is important of the bonds, I guess. Now, finally, this year we are going to launch a new emission of bonds for around $44 million. And the contest is the following. The national government locked our access to international credits from international institutions. You know, in Bolivia, our politics...
I don't think it's only in Bolivia, though.
You know Evo Morales? You know, our president, he has his point of view, but we have another point of view. We have to live together, but they have the sovereignty decision of long international loans. So we need to be innovate and recover the last experience of 10 years ago. We are going to launch against another municipal bonds. Also, you know, the oil price are not good enough now for us. And we have the private sector confidence. It's important for a local governments, as a national government, be trusted to the citizens. We are open government. We show all our accounts is open. We are in the government of the city around 12 years. There isn't any action of corruption in our government. We manage our money. Any cent is clear in ours. Recently, we made the PIFA. The PIFA is a Public Expenditure and Financial Accountability initiative that manages the World Bank, the European Union, that express that we manage the money, our money transparently. When we launch the stock, the citizens and the market trust in us. It's important the trust, not what they are behind of our management. We are transparent and we show our money. I guess with this finish, I guess this is very important issue. And the last things that I want to link, all this money that we collect from the bonds are directly to the resilience projects, linked to the SDGs. You know? Yes. Because not is only where we can get the money, where we invest the money.
You're going to invest the money.
We are linking the project with SDGs, especially resilience projects, risk management projects, in order to improve our capacity to face the climate change problems in La Paz.